What's up, Tentoes family? It's Tony Tentoes, and you're watching Tentoez TV. So, today's topic is going to be about New Year's resolutions and why you shouldn't make them. And by the way, happy 2025. It's already January 3rd, and the start of the year's already been crazy. The end of the New Year's already been crazy. You know, if you guys been watching the news and you guys are already up to date of what's happening in New Orleans or what happened out in Vegas or just everything like that. It's just we start the new year and there's already been a lot of casualties. So that's something that's crazy. But this video is on why you shouldn't make New Year's resolutions, and I've had a lot of time to think about this, right? And it took me a lot of years to think about this and you know to maybe test a couple of theories about it, but I remember I started getting really serious about making New Year's resolutions maybe when I was about 16 years old. And my New Year's resolutions were, just like any typical New Year's resolution would be, like I'm going to work on myself, I'm going to work on my anger problems, I'm going to stop my bad habits, I'm going to rebuild these bridges. 2020 fill in the blank, so on and so forth. That year is going to be my year. That's how I would say, like, any other person who would make a New Year's resolution. And going into the new year, I would basically try to change my agenda and change my life on some things, but like try to force it through because New Year's resolution, new year, new me type shit. So I would basically try to force my way into being something totally opposite, knowing that might not work at all. And what I've realized was as the year went on and everything that I made as a New Year's resolution, it didn't go as planned. If anything, it went completely fucking 180 and walked the whole other direction. And year after year, I would just keep making New Year's resolutions on, what I want to change throughout the year, or, next year is going to be my year, or this and that and the third, dot, dot, dot. But what I didn't realize is that I was setting myself up for failure the whole time. And what I mean by that is that, so if you're making a New Year's resolution, you're saying, "Oh, I'm gonna change. I'm gonna work on this. I'm gonna do all these things. It's gonna be my year," but you're not doing anything that's putting you in the good routine of the good habit to start you off in the new year. So you'd basically have the same situation of feeling like, I don't doubt you can't make progress, if you forcefully try to change some parts about yourself or some type of attributes that you think you can acquire. But at the same time, if you don't make the New Year's resolutions and you focus on what you can change throughout the year before the year ends, you build yourself in a good routine and a good habit of the flow state. And so what I basically did was, after I figured out that New Year's resolutions were basically like a curse to me, like I felt like I was just cursing myself for the next year every time I would make a resolution. So for that previous year, leading up onto the New Year's, and the whole resolution, I would just fix certain things about myself here and there throughout the whole year and build a good routine and a good habit of things that I should do for the next year. So say I was a music artist, right? And I have been before, so this is just the example I'm using. But say you haven't been putting out any art, so you haven't been dropping music, anything like that, right? And you're like, well, you know what, next year it's gonna be a hard year. Next year I'm gonna hit the music hard as hell, hard as hell. But in that time you've been taking, you practically have already fallen off a bit, in your own state of mind and your fans and whoever's following you, because you took that time. But if you went ahead and mastered some of your craft and throughout some things here and there, stayed consistent, and then leading up into 2025 went ham as hell, you would have had a crazy growing. So it's just the key of consistency and being committed, but onto the things that are helping you for whatever your New Year's resolution is. So that's kind of the thing that, use New Year's resolutions feel like a curse. They feel like they're setting you up for failure. But instead, maybe the last 3 months of the year, work on some things that you want to do for the next year. So when you're going into that new year, you already have an idea of what you want to do, how you want to do it, how you want to execute it. You have a plan and a goal. And that's kind of exactly what we're trying to build here. So this is why you shouldn't make a New Year's resolution, because you're setting yourself up for expectations that are basically forced. And you know yourself better than anybody. You shouldn't put expectations on yourself that you can't exceed. And I'm not saying that you can't exceed them, but you should try harder to build a foundation into exceeding it. So that was on today's topic. 2025, guys, it's gonna be a rough year, but it's only as rough as you make it. That's really it. It's only as rough as you make it. But you got this. I know I got this. Shit. Last year was just, we don't even gotta talk about last year because that's a part of the past. We just gotta stay focused on what's gonna happen this year and on. And if you have those goals, if you've already been, getting yourself in the healthy habits of the routine, then you're gonna have an easy start and you're gonna have a really, really, fresh start to this year. But life is only as hard as we make it. But this is why you shouldn't make a New Year's resolution. I feel like it's just setting us up for failure. And that was that was about it. So, if you guys all made your New Year's resolutions, I hope you guys stick to it and stay committed to it, and do whatever you can to grow your strength into it. But if you were confused, or if you were unaware unaware of making a resolution, just know that it's okay that you didn't. Just do everything that you can to build yourself a better year for this year. But this was Tony 10 Toes. You're watching 10 Toes TV. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And again, it's January 3rd, 2025, guys, and it's only gotten started, right? So thank you so much for the support. Join the collective. Join the collective 10 Toes family. Yeah. And more gameplay content coming soon. I'm gonna be hooking up my Sony camera soon, so I'm gonna be on the camera and doing some streaming. But you know, subscribe if you like the content. If you don't like the content, I'm glad you at least checked out the video. But until next time, later.